It's here in the short grass prairie below a windswept bluff in Colorado, where members of the Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes perished on November 29, 1864. This is the Sand Creek Massacre National Historic Site.
Well, it is the only unit of the National Park Service that has Massacre in its title.
Janet Frederick is superintendent of the site, officially designated by the U.S. Congress in 2000, whose grounds have been made to look exactly as they appeared back then.
There's an atmosphere there. You can feel the story. You can't do that if you just read about it. You have to actually experience that.
This new exhibit at the Museum History Colorado documents the attack. Over a 7-hour period, using small arms and howitzer fire, U.S. troops killed more than 230 people along the Big Sandy Creek. Half of the dead were women and children.
They were attacked brutally, and every manner of horrifying atrocity was conducted against these people who really wanted nothing more than to be left alone.
For descendants of massacre victims and survivors like Fred Mosqueda, this is a very sacred spot.
It's a place of sorrow, a place of grief, but it's also a place where we can go and sit, and it's really quiet, and you can listen and you can hear this place talk to you.
Well, it's extremely emotional and it's extremely raw. You know, there hasn't been a lot of healing and reckoning that's been done around the Sand Creek Massacre, and you know, for them this is family history. It's not something that's just removed in the past.
For the past 20 years, the National Park Service has worked to acquire property it didn't already own within the National Historic Site boundaries. That work paid off. 2 landowners recently agreed to sell. The new parcels will help protect the natural environment here and help tell this story. The lands contain archaeological remains of the village where families were camped.
I believe that as they start to add more and more property to the site, they're starting to include actual places that was involved in the Sand Creek Massacre. That's a good thing.
More and more people, Mosqueda says, have become open to hearing about his tribe then and now. Frederick believes the massacre is especially relevant today.
There are so many of events that have occurred that make people refer back to Sand Creek and say, we have not learned. We have not learned from our mistakes.
The dark parts of history must be acknowledged along with the good, she adds.
Being able to spread that word is really important to us.
Hendrik Sabrandi, CGTN, Eads, Colorado.